forget. What's happening, YouTube family? This is the Grimes family reporting from the Grimes. Jeez. Got my glasses on today, so I won't be squinting, even though I still might squint. Y'all forgive me for my wrinkled, ugly shirt, because it's a little ugly. I know, but I can't. I even shaved my head for this video. So today's topic is about faith and in marriage. And make sure my forehead. Today's topic is about faith and the things that you go through in marriage, in life, but marriage, and things you gotta have faith for, everything, ins and outs, ups, downs, regardless of what it is, you just gotta have faith for it all. And today what are we snacking on today?
It's ice cream. It's ice Rite Aid. Well,
Rite Aid. It's cheap, but it's delicious.
It is good. Yeah. So
I'm eating cookies and cream, and she eating.
What'd you give me?
Chocolate
something.
dumpling, something.
It's good though. But anyway, like he said, topic about having faith and going through a lot of like hard stuff in marriage, because I don't think any marriage hasn't faced like some kind of hard stuff or obstacles, whether or not. I don't think me and him are one to like just tell everybody about hard stuff, but we do, like I said in the last video, talk a lot to each other about it, like about whatever. So I think like the first part is like faith, because like I think during marriage counseling, before we got married, we did marriage counseling, and one of the things he mentioned was one of the main reasons for divorce was finances, and that was like a big thing that you have to kind of have faith about, because you're gonna go through like highs and lows, like especially being married for a longer period of time. It's gonna be times when you're not gonna have much and you're gonna have to lean on each other, and kind of not blame the other one for either spending habits or just whatever. And I think that was one of the first hard things, because what happened before we got married, we moved to Sacramento, and it was very hard being up there, even though looking back on it, everything was taken care of, but in that moment it was very hard to be there, because it was, we didn't have a whole bunch of money. It was just us two, and I remember early on we prayed together a lot about everything. Like we prayed a lot. Like it would be, we just would turn off the TV, turn off everything. We would open our Bibles. We would, sit there and listen to praise and worship music. We would, sit there and pray together. And I kid you not, every time we prayed about something, looking back on it, God always provided everything we needed. And I feel like it was because we had so much faith in God, and then we have faith in each other that, everything's going to work out. And I think, as marriage goes along, not stuff changes, but, things, kind of change a little bit. But I feel like me personally, I lost that somewhere, like, because we ended up moving back from Sacramento because of my personal fear of finances. We had a baby. You know, we just had our first kid, and y'all know how expensive and scary having your first kid is. It's crazy how much money these little people cost. Like, you know, it costs so much money. And I was like, okay, my family's in Bakersfield, you know, we'll have help and everything like that. But I remember during that time, he was always like, we can do this. We can do this. You know, we'll be fine in Sacramento. And I was like, no, you know, let's just go back to Bakersfield where we have help. And in that time, I felt like it was the right decision. But, you know, in reality, I lost the faith like that we had, you know, when we were praying, when we were reading together, when we was going to church, when we was doing all this stuff. And it wasn't, and I don't think when we did that, it was to gain anything. I think it was just because we knew we needed God in our marriage. Like, we knew you know, growing up and being in church, you know, everybody says God is the head of your life, but you know, you have to really believe that to get through a lot of things. And that's one thing that I feel like the first year of our entire marriage that we relied on a lot of times. So when we came back, I feel like that just kind of like dropped off for me personally. And it's taken a while to get it back. So as of right now, we've been wanting to move back to Sacramento because I loved it up there. It was scary, you know, financially, but I loved it. Like, loved my job, loved, you know, people I met. I loved the environment, just everything. And we don't particularly like it here. So, shut up. We don't really like it here. You know, family and friends are here and all that, but it's just like somewhere where you want to be. And recently I just went there, and he went there early last year. And like, when I went, I didn't want to come back. Only reason I was like, you know, my babies are here in town, but of course I wanted to come back for that. But it felt so comfortable there. And then I realized we have been.
Correction. It did not feel comfortable. It felt like home.
Yes, it felt like home.
Because the whole thing is, me personally, and I'm sure a lot of people out there, it's like, you don't want to be comfortable or you want to be comfortable where you lay your head, but you don't want to be too comfortable. You know what I mean? Comfortable, you get, I can't even think of the word, but it's okay to be comfortable when it's time to lay down or it's time to relax. But all in all, it's not safe to be comfortable, if that makes any sense to y'all out there. To rewind it a little bit, excuse me if this video is a little bit long, but this is our second video within this weekend, but this one is fairly important because of, you know, we just felt it was important because of, you know, people out there that's married and they're struggling and things like that and all that good stuff. And it's not good, but it's good at the same time, because when you struggle, when you get through it, you kind of, when you bounce back, you're like, okay, we went through this together. You know what I mean? I mean, personally, I don't like starting over. Especially just in relationships. It's like, it's never been my forte to, you know, start over. I mean, we all have exes and all that stuff, but you know what I mean. To backtrack, as far as faith goes, like I told my wife earlier today, I've always been a man of faith, you know, for the simple fact that, you know, what I've been through. Not that I've been through a lot, but I've been through enough to where I've had to have faith not only in myself, but the Most High, you know, my Lord and Savior. But the trials and tribulations that I went through, dang, I'm irritated by my shirt, excuse me. Well, when we first started dating and all that, I remember my mom told me to, I told my mom that I was praying about the relationship, right? And the first thing she told me, shit, you not, was, why are you praying about that for? And for me, I took that as a sign that I should pray, if that makes sense to y'all, which I'm sure it do. And I'm like, you know, when she said it, I was like, huh? Ain't you supposed to pray for just about anything? You pray for ice cream if you want to, you know, which is what we got today. I ain't got no sense. But I prayed about it because I really liked her. I love her, you know, but I really liked her, and I wanted to see if this was going to work, basically. And I prayed about it, and it was working out. I ain't gonna say it. I didn't have my trials and tribulations with the whole figuring it out, but because I did, but it made it easier to deal with. That's basically, as we all know, what faith is all about. It's not that it takes away your problems; it makes it easier to deal with, you know, or make you have more strength in dealing with what you're dealing with. So when we were dating and it got serious or whatnot, and we decided to get engaged, I remember she had the job offer in Sacramento. So we talked about it. Oh, you know, we need to do this and do that. We gonna make this official. And I'm like, shit, this is soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like soon. So I was like, and she was like, you know, it's either we do this or don't do it at all, you know. And she was like, is it worth it? And I was like, oh no, she asked me, excuse me, she asked me, is she worth it, something like that. And I was like, I couldn't think of nothing, you know, nothing bad. I'm like, shit, I guess it is. Like, you know, let's go. So she went out there, and what is it, like a month later, I went for the gusto. And
actually, it was you. I moved in.
Was it a month or under?
It was more than a month.
A few months.
Yeah.
Me having a part-time job at that time, I went out there with nothing. And of course, that was on faith. And I'm like, you know, it's Sacramento. I think I've been to Sacramento a few times before then. And went out there, and the struggle was real, like 100%. But have you ever heard of a beautiful struggle? That's what Sacramento was, a beautiful struggle, because like that.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a beautiful struggle, and not only because we had each other, but the city was nice. You know, it was just welcoming, like the whole vibe of it. Like I told her, like I wish we had stayed, because we would have been good if we would have had faith in each other, in our marriage, and most importantly, in God and what He had to get us through. But we didn't, you know what I'm saying, unfortunately. And we came back. And but the thing about being in Sacramento, we survived. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had 2 great apartments. You know,
they were wonderful.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I loved staying in both of them.
Yeah, it was, everything was in walking distance, and it was just, even if it wasn't in walking distance, it was just good to walk.
Yes.
I'm big on trails and outdoors, even though brothers don't really do that now. But it's different out there because they have a lot of trails. Like, those of you that live in Sacramento or know about Sacramento or ever walked around Sacramento know that they have trails in certain areas, which is freaking lovely. I love it because I used to do trails, so you know, that's my thing. But anyway, we prayed a lot. We fast. Actually, I think even before we got married, like she said earlier, You know, we did a lot of praying and a lot of fasting and stuff like that, and it went a long way. It went a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And not to, by all means, this ain't to convert nobody or make anybody feel no type of way. It's more so just letting people know, especially people that's married, young folk, that when you have faith in each other and faith in the process and faith in whoever you believe in besides yourself, the atmosphere or whatever, that it will get you through some tough shit. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with whatever you do, I don't care if it's job, family, everything. You know what I mean? It's just when you have trust in yourself, trusting the one you love, and faith and everything like that, and you know that it's gonna be clear on the other side. You know what I mean? It gives you a sense of pride. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody know that when you're going through some shit and you do things on your own throughout the shit that you're going through, it don't go like it should. Then you turn around and be like, damn, I should have did this, or I should have did that. Well, no, you should have prayed about it or meditated on it, you know what I mean, and let it manifest in you. Because everybody knows that when you act on something without thinking it through, praying about it, anything like that, you know, and you just act, it don't go the way that it should have went. You know what I mean? Because you did what you wanted to do, or you reacted the way you want to react. You know what I mean? Or you made a move that you probably shouldn't have made at that time. Now we're at the point right now that like we have to do what we have to do right now, because we prayed about it, we talked about it. You already know we talk about everything a lot of times, and we prayed about it, and even being a man, it's one of those things to where if you being a man is like if you haven't grown up with your dad or haven't got no guidance, or you haven't had nobody that's in your family that's married and gave you any kind of, tips, pointers, or understanding, you kind of don't know. You know what I mean? You have to just kind of like, live through the mistakes and whatnot. But with us, it just, honestly, I'm gonna say it came natural. I'm gonna be straight up honest. For me, it came natural. Like I love you enough to go through this with you. Obviously, you in my life for a reason. I'm in your life for a reason, and it's like I'd rather not do this for nobody but you. So, you know what I'm saying? But now I have to put on my big boy draws. You know what I'm saying? My man draws, my daddy, my husband draws, and pretty much make moves or have us make moves, and let God lead me to where I feel like He's leading me, and just go for the gusto. And right now, it's about that time. You know what I mean? And Sacramento is that place. And I know I've talked to a lot of people, which I probably shouldn't have, and they go, "Oh, Sacramento's expensive." Well, okay, California's expensive, and I live here, so it is what it is. I'm willing to bust my ass to live where I want to live, and but not bust my ass to live where I don't want to live, which is kind of what we're doing now. You know what I mean? So faith goes a long way, as they say. The faith of a mustard seed, and I think it's smaller than mine.
It's very small. I think they get it.
But anyway.
But I would want to add that I was about to eat it too, because it was just sitting there. But anyway, yes, sir, ice cream. It's all melty now. But anyways, like he said, faith played a big part. My faith in God, and I feel like our faith in God together has done wonders for getting through hard stuff. Like wanting to move back to Sacramento is a big thing. He's wanted to move back since we got back, but me, I've been afraid to go back because like he said, people say it's expensive. I knew it was expensive when we lived there, but like I said, God always made a way for us. So when I went back recently and when he was there, earlier this year, it was the same feeling. Like, we were just around the corner from the house. Like that's all I wanted to do was go back to where we were at. And I do feel like going back would be beneficial for our two babies. I looked into lots of programs, lots of stuff they can get into. With his job, they have we have the little one who I was thinking about daycare. Y'all know daycare is super expensive. So they have a daycare just for employees, where he works. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, I didn't even know they had that. And I looked at, just because they have the daycare doesn't mean it's good. But I looked into it and it got like really good reviews. Really, really good reviews. So I was like, okay, because I'm, I might have to put my baby in. The last one was longer than this.
Was it?
Yes.
My bad, I'm interrupting because I didn't know our video was that long. But please like and subscribe anyway.
Yes. Like and subscribe to our video while I finish what I was saying. Anyway, daycare. So,
you ain't never gonna take it out the video.
No.
Oh, that's not right.
Anyway, daycare was a big concern for me. My son's school was a big concern for me because he's in a really good school right now. But all of that, I feel like, us talking about it, us praying about it, we was fasting and praying about it. Oh, look, I'm in the video by myself. Anyways, we fasted, prayed, and all this about, going back. And I do feel like it was a very good decision to go back. I had an interview there. I had, my husband can transfer there. All this good stuff. So, I'm boring by myself. You got to come back in the video as he walks out. So, anyways, the faith thing is a big reason why, decided to go back. And I really believe God will make a way for us to get back. It's just a matter of us making a move. And usually I'm very cautious and I don't make moves. And then usually it turns out that I should have moved and I didn't. So, with that being said, I guess, what'd you drop? I guess I'm done because I'm not very entertaining by myself. So, but what they say? Like, comment, and subscribe. Because we're going to try to get better at these videos. I mean, we're okay people. Well, I'm okay, but
She's wonderful.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I am wonderful.
Anyway, it's long, and like y'all got nothing to do. I'm messing with y'all.
They don't. Especially the ones that subscribe that, that we know.
True.
They ain't doing nothing.
Thank y'all, friends, for subscribing. Move by faith, man. You know what I'm saying? When you get into a relationship, pray about the thing.
Yeah, just don't be with anybody. I mean,
have faith in y'all. Yes, I'll foot you away. I'll foot you. That means hush. Have faith in your partner. Don't get attitude on the video. Have faith in your partner. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the process. Have faith in the Almighty. whoever your Almighty is.
Or just God or Jesus. So let's get that straight.
But yeah, man, just move by faith. Pray and do all that good stuff, and I can guarantee you will not. Oh, one more last thing. I burped. Excuse me. As brothers out there, and that's brothers all colors. When you in a relationship, and not to give advice, but I'm just saying, especially speaking for myself. When you in a relationship, marriage, it comes a time where the things that you are not taught or used to, you kind of have to, eventually graduate into that that thing that you haven't been taught. Mine is taking control, aka being the head of the household, which I've been for however long we've been married, but it's just making decisions and having her say, okay, we're gonna do that. If that's what we prayed about, manifested on it and whatnot, that's what we're gonna do. And we finally get to the point where it's like, okay, this nigga's moving right. All right now. Okay, husband. Yes.
I don't sound like that.
But nigga, tired of being where I'm at. Tired of being where we at. And it's time to go. And on that note, it's almost, what was that,
27 minutes.
27 minutes.
Good for us.
Long. So on that note, faith, love, happiness, Grimes signing out. Now I gotta reach over.